This is Status Teenage. Welcome to or welcome back. We're your hosts, Olivia
and Sophia.
And today's topic is school from a senior's perspective, or soon-to-be senior's perspective, might I say. So, I think
Olivia's actually a time traveler, fun fact.
Yeah, I go back in time. So, we're gonna go year by year because, we are almost seniors. So, let's just begin freshman year, why don't we? We are the first grade. Or the only grade.
We're in grade 1.
No. We're the only grade out of all the kids in high school that have had a full year of high school.
Besides the ones who have already graduated.
Yes.
Because they're graduated now. Starting, the most recent 4 years, we are the only... And within these 4 years, or I guess 3 years, we are the first... we are the only people who have gotten... Sorry. We are the only people who have gotten a full year.
Yeah, so, yeah. Because we really only had 9th grade, and then half of 10th, and then 11th was online, and grade 12, we could go to school if we want. I'm not going to school. Personally, I want to stay home. I want to be home. So, yeah, let's talk about grade 9, okay? So, when you got into high school, what were your, favorite and least favorite subjects? I really, really loved French. That was something that I always loved, but you knew that.
I liked our French teacher because he was the coolest. We would, talk about Harry Potter with him.
Yeah, he was a Ravenclaw.
Because me and Olivia both started reading Harry Potter at the same time. He would talk about English books with us, but I wasn't bad in French. I'm not the best with learning languages, but Olivia's really good.
So my favorite was always French. I always really liked the language subjects, so English and French are really up there for me. My least favorite subject definitely had to be phys ed, because I just I hated phys ed.
I'm right there with you.
I don't understand why I hated phys ed so much, because
5K run.
Yeah, but it wasn't even the whole working out aspect, because that's good for you, you know what I mean? Although I hate it,
it's bad for my mental health. But people say working out is good for your mental health. No.
See, for me,
it makes me want to cry.
I think it was just the environment. I don't know. I didn't like the phys ed environment. I just didn't like the subject. Yeah, that was
fun.
Tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I also, my favorite subjects, I ended up being really into English later on. And at the beginning, our English teacher was kind of stressful. So I think, while you did say you really liked English, Olivia, I'm going to call bullshit on that. Because that grade 9 English was so stressful.
Yeah, that class was, it was just over the top. When you get into high school, you kind of expect more work, The teachers are well, you're in high school now, you should expect a greater workload, but
the teacher gave us 7 projects the last week of right before exams.
Yeah, it
7
was
projects.
Crazy. It was crazy. It was so stressful. People actually complained about it, but nothing ended up happening because the excuse was, well, you're in grade 9 now, so you have to
But the thing is, even the advanced placement students got less projects than we did.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I also really loved vocals.
Vocals was really fun.
Yeah, I already told you how me and Olivia met. I also hate phys ed, but I'm not the best at math and science. So Grade 9 science was actually not too bad because for some reason my grade 8 teacher was teaching us grade 9 science. So once I got to grade 9 science, I was I know all of this.
My grade 8 teacher,
I still didn't like it.
My grade 8 teacher taught us nothing of the sort. She taught us glaciers and that was about it. We learned almost nothing. A lot of I was actually scared to go into grade 9 because a lot of kids that had already graduated and were in grade 9, they actually said that they failed because they didn't learn anything in 8th grade. The thing is, though, I feel the curriculum that we learned really had nothing to do with grade 8. I think that everything that we learned...
for you, my science teacher taught us grade 9 science.
Well, yeah, but I think regularly, if your teacher didn't do such a thing, teach you grade 9, it's all new anyway. I feel the grade 9 curriculum was all new from 8th grade.
Grade math I was really stressed about because my math teacher in grade 8 was saying you're gonna have to be able to do mental math, which I can't do.
Yeah.
He's you're not allowed to use a calculator.
But we were allowed to.
And yeah. And for some reason, people got in their heads that you had to memorize a periodic table, which we never had to do.
We only had to remember the first 20 elements.
Not even that.
I had to.
You had to. We had the
Hydrogen
same
and helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, everywhere.
I don't think we had to do that, Olivia. I think I think we all did that, together, because there was always that one person in your grade 8 class who would constantly be singing the periodic table song to prepare them for the next year. But we never ended up needing to know the periodic table. So
no, we needed to know it.
We needed to know, but we didn't need to memorize it.
I know, I memorized it.
You memorized it because there was probably someone in your class in grade 8 who was singing the song.
Everywhere, nitrogen all through the air, this oxygen so you can breathe the floor.
Yeah, I memorized the first 20 elements too because someone kept singing it in my class.
Magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, silver, chlorine, argon, potassium.
And now you know what we're doing with those elements? We're buying shiny crystals from rock stores. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we are. I wonder, what your favorite time of year was, because for me, what I really liked, was winter. I don't know why. I felt like winter in school just hit different. I just loved winter.
Because in the winter we had our beautiful music night.
Yeah, it was really
so
nice.
Fun.
Music night was really good. But that was also December time was also when choir went to the theater schools.
Yeah.
And there was I really liked.
So,
yeah.
In conclusion, the reason that winter was so good is because we did the most stuff with our choir. But also, I guess this more goes into later when we're talking about extracurricular activities, but I guess we'll talk about it now. So me and Olivia both took choir as an extracurricular activity. We didn't take any others. Olivia, I don't think you took any others either.
No, I didn't
because we're both lazy. We're both lazy. So we both took choir. Also, we got an extra 5%. If we took choir, on our vocals mark.
Yeah. Also, if we weren't in vocals, we got community service hours because that's mandatory for us. We need 40 community service hours to graduate.
Stupid. It's so dumb.
I don't find it to be that stupid. Personally, I think that it's kind of smart. You get kids out there because some kids tend to just do the community hours just to get through
but go to work instead. You're making the community service hours mandatory to not get paid. You have to do work that you can't get paid for. So what? You're advocating for child labor?
No, see, for me, what I did was I went to a place that I had interest in at the time. I was a teacher's assistant because I had wanted to be a teacher at the time. So I got that, little bit of experience photocopying and doing lessons with the students. I didn't end up doing co-op. We couldn't even do it in grade 11.
You're right. But you're supposed to.
Yeah. But yeah, so I used up my community service hours doing something that I enjoyed. I felt like if somebody...
Me too.
Okay, well.
I got them for vocals and Terry Fox run.
I did do that too. I did the, festival thing that we had. Yeah.
The thing is, I had my community service... Sorry, I was drinking tea. I had my community service hours perfectly planned so that by the end of grade 12, I would have 40 hours by doing only vocal or choir and Terry Fox. The problem is quarantine.
I got 60 hours in the first year because I did choir, I did Terry Fox, and I did my community service hours as a teacher assistant. So I got all my hours.
I only had 20 hours because I planned it a certain way, and then freaking COVID had to get in the way and ruin all my fun. Anyways, what was I saying? So that's what I was saying. Choir. The end of school was also really fun for choir because we got to go to Canada's Wonderland.
Yeah. Now let's talk about grade 10 because that year was, for me, psychotic.
I kind of enjoyed it.
No, my grade 10 year was really rough. We won't go into specifics, but that's when quarantine hit. So we had our first semester and a month and a half-ish of second semester. First semester was completely fine. Everything was going as normal. And then we were supposed to go on our March break, which I think is the equivalent to spring break in America. Yeah, so we were supposed to go on our March break, right? And then they were well, turns out there's a thing called COVID-19. You get 2 weeks off instead of a week, right? And then after they were no, sorry, they did 6 weeks off. So all of April we were off. They were beginning of May, you could come back to school. We didn't end up going back.
Nope.
And then we went to, and then they were end of June. We didn't end up going back. So it was crazy. I literally feel that the transition from in-person school to online school was, like, really insane. Because we had, it was, like, 3 weeks off of, like, no school because everyone was trying to figure things out.
Yes, and even when we went back to school, we only had one class a day and for, like, an hour, 2 hours, and the rest of the day we had completely free.
Yeah.
Which was so good for me because That
was 11th grade, no?
The thing is... No, that was grade 10. In grade 11, we had the 2 classes a day. In grade 10, we had 1 class a day for 2 hours or like 1 hour, and then we had the rest of the day off.
Really? I thought it was grade 11. You went in the morning and then you had a class because in the afternoon.
No. That's what it was when you go. But in grade 10, you didn't have to go back to school. You had 1 class a day.
Oh yeah, online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the day, you just had free.
Mm-hmm.
And some teachers didn't even make you go, like, on call, and they just gave you work, which no one did.
Yeah.
Unless it was being marked. And even then, some people didn't mark it because the government was like, you can't take whatever your mark was before quarantine, it can't go down.
Yeah, it can only go up.
Yeah, so if you didn't want to do your work, if you had no intention of worrying about making your mark go up, if you didn't want to improve your mark, you didn't have to, so no one did the work.
Yeah. No, I
did the work.
I still raised
marks.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. But the thing is, in grade 10, I did so bad at math. Literally so bad. But the thing is, before quarantine, my mark wasn't that bad. But the test that bumped my mark up before quarantine, the teacher originally marked wrong, so I had to go back and get it checked, to make sure she marked it right. So the thing is, my mark literally jumped 15% from her correcting that one test. So if I hadn't made her check the test, my mark would have been 15% lower than it was, and I would have probably not got an honor roll in grade 10.
Yeah, I've gotten honor roll all year so far.
Me too.
Which is because I don't know, it's honestly not that special if you think about it.
I got honor roll too, and I got highest mark in vocals. I got leadership in vocals in grade 9, and I got in choir in grade 9, and I got MVP in grade 10.
I got a spirit award for vocals or choir or something like that. It was choir.
Olivia has spirit.
I do.
That's one thing Olivia has.
I do. No, you know what the thing is? I'm a very energetic person. Whoa, my windows just cracked. I don't know how to explain it. No. Like the wood on the edges of my windows
my window does
settled.
that all the time.
It was weird. It was so
weird.
My
windows do that all the time because I have large windows.
Yeah, so I literally thought I was like, oh. But yeah, so I got spirit. I'm usually a very energetic person. Yeah, even people at work say that I'm really energetic.
You are.
I'll literally come into work and they're like, I love your aura. Thanks.
You know what's really interesting? We should talk about our friendship in grade 9 because that was.
Oh yeah, we could talk about making friends. We could talk about making friends.
Making friends is something we should talk about. Maybe we should talk about grade 11 first.
No, we should talk about making friends, and then we'll go on to grade 11 because grade 11 is a whole thing.
Yeah, me and Olivia had a very different experience in regards to making friends in grade 9.
I had friends going into high school, but you were new to the high school.
Well, we're both new to the high school, but the thing is, Olivia came to a school where most of the people from her elementary school were going.
Yeah.
I decided to do the opposite.
Yeah.
So most of the people from my elementary school went to a different school.
Yeah.
So I ended up hopping in with Olivia's group.
Yeah.
But me and Olivia had a kind of unspoken rivalry.
Kind of.
All through grade 9.
Yeah, there was always tension.
Friends.
Yeah.
We're still friends.
Yeah, we were still
but
friends.
But there was a rivalry for like a undecided brawl.
Yeah, there was a little bit of tension there because we were both in choir. She was a soprano, I was an alto. There was some tension there, but there's also tension between the group and yada yada yada. But I
cried one day. I don't cry, but one time I left science class and I cried.
Did I make you cry? Probably.
I think I was just so No, I think it was that one fight about fucking One Direction. It wasn't about One Direction, it was about us singing that One Direction song. There was a fight, and then I was it wasn't just you, I was just so stressed out, and I was like regretting going to a high school because I felt kind of like really lonely at that time because I was like, it wasn't just it was like because I was like, well, if Olivia's mad at me, then all of our friends are gonna take her side because they've known her for longer. So did I make a mistake like coming to a school that none of my friends went to? Should I have just gone to this other school where most of the other people went to? And my best friend went to a completely different school that was no one went there either, but she's switching back to the school we go to. So I was just like so stressed, and like because it was like close to the beginning of grade 9 too. Yeah. I was just like, ugh. So I went and I cried. I
definitely feel like I was scared going into high school, like making friends and such, but I had always been someone who like would start conversations, and I would be the one to kind of like ensue, or like I don't know the word, like just I would be the one to start friendships, start conversations. I would be the one that would go out of my way. It's not that like I don't want to be, it's not that I'm not okay being alone like in a classroom or whatever, but you know, friends make it better. But just one thing with making friends is like eventually you are going to make friends. Like it's kind of inevitable. Yeah, like you're gonna go.
Olivia were like close because we had all our first semester classes together, but we're also like rivaling with each other.
We spent so much time together that we got annoyed of each other. That's what I think.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Because, like, we had all 4 classes, and on Wednesdays we had choir together. So, like, we were together all the time.
Yeah, all the time. I have good memories from grade 9. Whenever I think about grade 9, I get fuzzy feelings.
When I think back at to grade 9, it's kind of a blur, if I'm honest with you. Like,
a little bit, yeah. Like, but you know what? I have some advice for people going into grade 9.
Oh, let's give advice to the freshmen out there, shall we?
I have a really good piece of advice. If you are going into grade 9, you need a friend who will do your locker code for you.
That was me.
Because that was Olivia. I used to drag Olivia to my locker for like the first like month of school, because for the first month I could not do my locker.
But see,
so Olivia would do it for me.
But we were together all the time, and so it
didn't even matter.
It didn't even matter because we had the same lunches, we had the same classes. Like my locker was on the second floor. Your locker is on the 3rd floor. You were like right above me, like a hallway, like right above the floor. You know what I mean? I was near the washrooms on the 2nd floor.
I was beside the mannequin head showcase.
Yeah, so I used to go up there with you. I think it was like after lunch when we'd get our books, and I used to have to open her locker for her. So just yeah, that was but then you learned. You got it.
I learned eventually.
Yeah, you got it. So that's okay. I gave you a head start. That's fine.
Yep.
I gave you a head start.
And now I might need your help again because I forgot how to do it.
That's okay. I literally did my lock because I have it like in my jewelry box. I
low-key kind of forgot my code.
I don't remember my code. I just did muscle memory and it worked. So you might just get it.
I wrote my code down.
You might just get it because of muscle memory. But a piece of advice that I have to any freshman is, whether it's 9th grade, I don't know if it's different where everybody else goes depending on where you live, but like we have mandatory courses that we have to take. It's like 6 mandatory courses, but like
plus religion because we go to a Catholic school.
Yeah, plus religion. So in grade like 11 and 12, I should say this. You always keep it in the back of your mind that if there's a course that you're in that you don't need for university, don't take it. But also don't stay in a course just because your friends are in it. Like, that's one thing. Never.
I mean, if you want to take even if it doesn't apply to you in university, if you enjoy the subject, then take it.
Yeah.
But don't put it over other classes that you will need to get into the university course you want to go to.
Simply because your friends are in it. Like, don't let your friends.
Even if you really enjoy the course, you have to take those courses you need to take.
Yeah. So, like, don't let your friends be the ones to decide, like, don't make your friends a deciding factor on what you do. That's pretty much it. Like, if you want to join a club, let's say, join a club, and, like, you can have a friend there. You can ask a friend, like, oh, you know, you want to join it? If they say no, then still go for it. If they say yes, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, if it's something that really interests you, just do it. Just do it. It'll make you, like,
extracurricular activities.
Especially if, like, you need community service hours and they offer community service hours, do it.
Sing at the church if you need to, even if you're not Christian.
Oh my gosh.
The thing is, with our school, there was, like, a choir, and sometimes, like, the priest would come to our school to do mass. Mm-hmm. So you would get extra community service hours by participating in the mass.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
your
I
girl
did like
became a nun for a few hours and sang in the mass.
so did
I
I.
got some hours.
I remember that.
Sang
that.
Mary. Wasn't it Mary? Did you know?
Yeah.
Mary, did you know?
Yeah, it was. I remember. Ooh, that's weird. Ooh.
It was so funny.
Such a
But you know what I
blur.
remember? I remember people were like, you had... The thing is, you say that you were jealous of me, but I was also jealous of you. Because while I think I got more solos, you got more attention from other people. Because, like, I remember doing mass. There was like that mass, and then people were, you sang with another person for your solo, and I sang alone. So you sang with, I don't remember who it is, but everyone was coming up to me and were like, Olivia, you did such a good job, and I had a solo like all on my own, and not a single person complimented me.
Really?
Not one. So
Really?
while you were jealous of me because I got more solos, I was also jealous of you because you got more recognition.
I didn't even think about that. I had no idea, honestly. But
Yeah.
because you never had told me, but I outwardly told you that, like, yeah, like, I was a little bit jealous of you because, like, you know, you were not favorited, kind of, but, like, because you were a soprano, like, sopranos, I felt like got favorited over the altos.
Yeah, because they did. They always do. I've been on vocals TikTok, and no matter what school you go to, that's what happens.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot about it. That's why I didn't say, like, when you said I was jealous of you, I was like, I forgot that happened. I was like, fuck. But yeah,
it just
we're still friends,
happens.
so it's okay.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, let's talk about 11th grade. So, our 11th grade was very, like, it was still online. But, like, I was very MIA.
My favorite courses, I did so well. The thing is, Olivia, you struggled a lot on online school. I did better.
No, you know what? Like, I did do very well in online school. I just struggled with the workload. Like, it was overbearing. Like, I could not...
For me, it's dependent on the course.
No, like, because my first quadmester was, like, bio, math. I had, like, really hard subjects. I had bio. I had, English. I had... technology, which was like easy, and I had one other course. Oh no, because quadmesters we only had 2, right? Wait, let me think. I had English and bio. Then the next quadmester I had math and tech, so it wasn't that bad. Imagine if I had math, bio, English, and tech all at the same time.
That would be so bad.
But I was literally dying with bio and English. Like, I could not handle it. It was so much work for me.
Yeah.
It was so bad. But then every other quadmester I was fine.
I had first semester I had math, and what did I have with math? Math and religion, religion was really easy, so whatever. Math, worst I ever got in math. I did so bad in math, but everything else I got high 80s, 90s, sometimes high 90s. So then I think I had. Did I have vocal?
I didn't take vocals.
You didn't take vocals.
I only took vocals in 9th grade. I was gonna take vocals in 11th grade, but I couldn't. Like, I needed to switch it out for something, and I think I had to switch it out for French.
I had vocals, and I had why can't I remember? You know what? I'm gonna check.
But yeah,
I'm gonna check. Give me a second, guys. Let me just check real quick.
I think that grade 11 for me was like a really hard year in the beginning, because it was like, because the teachers, they gave you a lot of work because, you know, they had such little time. It was like a month and a half or something, or like 2.5 months of just like work piled on, because it was like shortened, you know what I mean? But grade 11 wasn't like nothing spectacular happened. I feel like everyone was just doing their own thing, like at home, or they were at school in the morning and they were at home after. I know for myself, like, I just stayed at home because, like, I didn't want to go to school, and I still don't.
Okay, I remember what I had. Sorry. I had vocals and interior design. And interior design, you think it's going to be an easy course?
I remember you complaining about this course so
if
much.
the line was too fuzzy, you had to redo the whole draft. And the thing is, I didn't take architecture. I took interior design.
Yeah.
For a reason. So there was that. Then I had English and law, which those two courses together was a lot. But I did really good in both of them because in grade 11 was when I truly refound my love for English and books and literature. And now I'm going into university for English. So there's that. I want to write a book. Yeah. And then finally, me and Olivia had history together.
Oh, that was rough.
History and anthropology. We had both. I loved my history teacher, though. I loved our history teacher.
Our history teacher was really good. I really did like him, yeah. He was good.
I just didn't like some of the people in our class.
And
psychology wasn't the easiest, but...
Nothing really happened in grade 11. I feel like grade 11 was just such a laid-back year. It was so laid back.
Summer of grade 11 that shit went down, for me at least.
Yeah.
There was some friendship loss that I won't get into, but I refound Olivia, and we made friends with the people who will hopefully be on this podcast later on.
Yeah, and I was like, I literally called one of them and I was like, you should
Well, she tricked you into joining a call.
She did. And then I was like, why don't
Adara, we're calling you out here.
We're calling you
you're
out.
You thought you didn't want to be on, now you're on.
Now you're
on.
You're called out. Anyway, so yeah, I think grade 11 was a really, really laid back year for me. I mostly just I had a routine, I'd go into class, whatever, and then I'd do whatever I had to do. I had this entire routine. It was so good. I literally, best routine of my life. I definitely think that if I still keep up with it a little bit, but it was a really good routine. Mm-hmm. But now that grade 11 is done, and this is the summer of before grade 12, let's talk about it.
What courses are you taking next year?
Okay, so I know that my electives are human development and Canadian and international law. I'm
taking that one too. We have that one together then.
Well, those are my alternates. Alternates, sorry.
Rip.
So I took what's that called? Advanced functions, which I'm dropping because I'm not doing that. I took biology. I took another world religion, I think, one of those. I took French. I took English. I don't remember. And then I took a human development course. It's a psychology course. And then I don't remember my other two. I don't remember. Oh no, I have a spare.
Yeah. I have one spare as well.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's I should know that, but I don't.
Why are you taking those courses?
Well, biology I need because I was planning on getting into a certain university program, but then I decided that I didn't want to do that program. But I'm still taking it because it can help me in the other program that I want to get into. French is mainly what I'm going to study in university, so I need that anyway. I'm going to take a math, but I'm going to drop that math for another math because I'm not in the mood to be working on functions. I'll just do data management or something because I need my university courses, right? 6 of them or however many I need. Psychology courses because I'm gonna minor in psychology. What else did I say? Religion because that's mandatory, and I don't remember the other ones. English I already took in summer school, so
right.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know why I'm taking... I thought it out, though.
You thought it out, you just don't remember.
I just don't remember.
Why?
I was thinking about it, all throughout grade 11. I was like, I have to figure this out, and I have to figure out courses and programs that I'm going to get into, and so that's why. But, yeah, I don't remember the courses specifically. I don't know what to expect for grade 12, though, because it's going to be a lot of chaos. I know that. We have, prom, graduation, and...
Maybe we hopefully have prom.
Yeah, and we have graduation, and then we have, we have to apply to universities and colleges, in December, in, 4 months. Yeah. You have to figure it out, Sophia, because I don't know if you figured it out already.
I know what course I'm going into, and the course doesn't really matter, because, or not the course, the
program?
The school doesn't really matter because I'm going into English. I'm going into English. So no matter what, every school has an English program.
Yeah.
But next year I'm taking English. Most of my classes are university except for the vocals, which is mixed. So I'm taking philosophy, which is a religion course. I'm taking English. I'm taking writer's craft, which is another English course, but it's for creative writing. So I really want to write a book. I'm taking vocals. I'm taking law, Canadian International Law, because after university, after I finish with English, I might go into law school after and become a lawyer.
That's another thing.
I'm taking politics. Because I love politics, and also that will help with law. I'm taking challenges and changes in society, and then I have a spare.
See, I don't know what I'm gonna do, like, in university. I feel like it's just, like, I know where I'm gonna go and what I'm gonna do, but after university, because I feel like after the program that I'm gonna take, I can go to so many different places. Like, I can go to med school if I wanted to, and then I can go to law school, or I can get a job right after, like, right out of university, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I have to figure all that out.
Yeah.
That's what I have to figure out.
The thing is, I really like social sciences. I like, not so much psychology, but I really like history and law and politics. Those are where I thrive because I'm good with reading and I'm good with literature. So English, but I also really want to write a book, and I already kind of have the idea for my book out in my mind. So, I just have to put it on paper.
For me, I just want to be fluent in French. And the thing is like, no, because you know what? I say it all the time, like, I want to be fluent in French, but I never, like, work on it because, like, I was never guided to, like, become fluent. I feel like
because the way they teach French, because we're in Canada, so they teach us French as it's a mandatory course for most of your years in school. Elementary school, and you have to take it in grade 9. So, because the French program is barely a French program. Like, it's mandatory that we learn it because it's our second language in Canada. But the French program, it's not like they don't really care to teach you French.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, kids are just taking it because they have to, and then whatever. But, like, for me, I really want to become fluent. Like, I'm going to study in a university. But another thing is, though, they teach us, like, Paris French. They don't teach us the Quebec, like, dialects, to put it like that, right? So if I were to become fluent in French that they teach in the university, it would be, like, Paris French, I think. And then I wouldn't even, like, know.
The thing is, sometimes I regret not taking French until I remember that you couldn't take vocals because you had to take French. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'd rather take vocals over French. Because that's where I'm good at. I'm better at vocals than I am at French. And vocals is like, it's my thing. You know, it's what I do.
I really, really, really love languages. I love languages, but for some reason, I just can't put in the effort to learn them. Like, for me, I feel like I can't sit down and study. I have to, like, learn as I go, like, listening to the language. I have to learn by osmosis instead of sitting down and studying. And not osmosis, the freaking water cycle, because I know that's what you're thinking. Osmosis.
I know, that's exactly what I was thinking.
No,
I was like, science.
No, I'll show you. Osmosis definition. There's another definition for it. Osmosis.
I believe you.
The process of gradual or unconscious assimilation of ideas and knowledge. Not the process by which molecules of a solvent tend to pass through a semi-permeable membrane from a less concentrated solution into a more concentrated one. Not that one. The one that talks about, like, you learn gradually over time. Like, for me, like, when it comes to, like, there's no, like, good French shows I find. Like, I've researched and I can never find, like, any good French shows other than, like, The Circle in France. But even then, like, it's so hard for me to understand. Like, when I first started, like, getting into the Korean language, I was, like, watching, like, a bunch of K-dramas, and it's been over a year.
Olivia watches K-dramas, and I find it so funny because my grandma also watches them. And I don't know. She's an old English lady. And she watches Korean dramas.
See, the thing is like, when you watch, like, all these Korean dramas or, like, shows in different languages, you slowly start to put pieces together and, like, learn the language, right? So, like, sometimes like, I still need the subtitles, obviously. But sometimes if I'm looking away for a second and they say something, I can understand it because they say it a lot. You know what I mean? But, like, I can't sit down and study. I need, like, something to force me to.
That's where you and me are different, though. You need to learn slowly, but not using books and stuff. I, on the other hand, can read a book once and can probably ace a test.
No.
I sat down one time, read a chapter of a history textbook, and just did the test, and I only got one question wrong, and I got the question wrong because I put the answer in French instead of English. I swear to God, I'm an idiot.
Well, there's that.
So I don't do that anymore either. I don't study, I just retain the knowledge that I have in class and just do it.
No, like, I can retain knowledge from class, but the thing is I prefer more, like hands-on-ish.
You like learning slowly and, like, kinetically.
Yeah, I guess you could say. See, like, it's either, yeah, it's more like that, like, I can't just, like, read something in a book, or, like, I can't, like, understand a math equation without doing it. I can't...
But that's why I'm bad at math.
Mm-hmm. Or, like, I can't understand, like, a conversation, like, I won't understand how to use a French, like, let me think of a French tense, whatever. Like, I don't know how to use, like, futur simple, right? Because I don't know how to use it, like, in conversation. Because I've never used it in conversation.
Yeah.
I have to be able to, like, the only way for me to learn is by doing it. I have to learn from experience. That's what I'm trying to say. I have to learn from experience. I have to be in conversation with someone. But, like, nobody's a native speaker because we have teachers at school who like, studied French in university teaching us. It's like, I feel like I need to talk to a native person. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of, like, my courses are kind of like that, where I'm not learning a whole new language, but in law and history, and especially politics, there are new concepts that are kind of like learning a whole other language. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I can hear the concept once and remember it. I just have to sit down, look at it, and then, like, I'll be like, and, like, think through it, and I'll be like, okay, I have it forever now.
When it comes to memorization, I'm really good at memorizing. Yeah. Like, I can memorize things, like, on the spot, but for things like languages, I just can't. I can't do it, but I love them so much. Like, literally, like, I don't know what it is, but just being able to speak another language and the whole, like phonetics of a language is really, really interesting to me. Or even, like, why certain words are the way that they are in, like, either Latin or any, like, Asian language. It's so interesting to me.
That's interesting to me too, but that's because I'm a history nerd, not because I like languages. Olivia likes decoding things. I like looking at concepts and expanding on them. That's the difference between us.
Because that kind of works because, like, I love patterns and I love what's it called, trivia, and I love, like, I want to do an escape room so bad.
I've done one with my family, and I'm not good to work with, but I feel like us working together would be so funny, and we'd never be able to escape, so let's do it.
I don't know.
We'd fight. We'd fight for sure.
Yeah. What I really like, though, is, like, in school, when we, like, learn something, and then, like, I put it to real life, and I'm like, I put Olivia them two together, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, wait, that makes sense. Or, like, something that I've learned,
That's
and
the
then
best.
I see it in person, I'm like, oh my, wow.
When I'm listening, I love listening, because I love listening to, like, or learning law and history and politics, and then being able to hold up conversations with people so much older than me and run circles around them. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
It is my favorite thing.
Outsmarting people is, like, a really great thing.
Especially when they're so much older than you and they underestimate you because you're younger. It's the best. And you're like, well, how do you know this? I'm like, oh, because I learned this in school and did extra research on it.
Yeah.
I love expanding on concepts so much that we were reading Macbeth, and I did a whole paper on Macbeth's connection to numerology for no reason, and then I threw it away because I didn't think it was important.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe I threw it away.
But you know what I do?
Because I wrote it out with paper and pencil.
I'm very perceiving. Like, I can put 2 and 2 together. I'm very logical in that sense. Like, I really like the process of elimination. That is something that I use all the time. I'm also, like, a very, like, I go by lists and stuff. Like, in school, like, when I have to do stuff, I always have a to-do list. Like, literally last night, I got home, like, really late. In my head, 1, do this. When I started another thing, 2, do this. Number 3, this. Number 4, brush your teeth. Number 5, this. You know, all this stuff. Like, I just go, like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's just weird. But if I learn languages like that, that would be so much easier. But I can't learn languages like that.
You think in lists, I think in paragraphs.
Really?
Yeah. I think, when I'm thinking, I write things out in my head.
I write down in lists. I have, like, to-do lists everywhere.
But I think that's a good way to describe the way our minds work. I think you think in lists, I think in paragraphs. Yeah. The thing is, my brain works very quickly, so when I talk and when I try to explain myself, it sounds like I just can't explain myself no matter what I do. I'm so bad at explaining things. It's so funny. And the amount of fights I've gotten into because I didn't explain something well enough is insane.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of times where you've confused me.
Well, I think I'm just, even as just, like, a human, I think I'm a confusing human.
Yeah. Do you wish that we were, like, in a younger grade? Like, would you, if you had the option of going back in time to, like, a grade, would you? Or would you stay this grade? Like, do you wish you were younger?
Well, I don't wish I was younger because even when I was younger, I was more, like, I was more, not mature, but I grew up a lot faster than the people around me.
So did I.
For outlying reasons. But also, like, I always felt kind of, like, disconnected from everyone around me to some, I still do. I always felt disconnected to someone around me, to the people around me for, like, some reason. And again, I still do. But also, it would mean that we'd have to go through quarantine all over again. And I don't want to do that, so no, I would not go back.
Yeah, see, the thing is with me is I kind of like where I am right now.
Yeah, me too.
I like that. Like, if I could go back in time and change something, I don't think I would, because everything has led up to the way my personality is, the way that I act towards people. Everything that I've gone through has created, like, the mosaic, which is my personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that, like, a lot has happened to me, right? Like, growing up, a lot has happened. So many friendships lost. Like, I was bullied, you know, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't go back because that was, like, majority of elementary school. So if I went back, I'd probably land in elementary school. Like, if I had to go back to a time, if I had to, it would be 1st grade because, like, that was so fun. Or I'd go back to 8th grade because that was, like, basically the end of everything. But I don't wish I was younger. I feel like I wish I was younger age-wise, but I would like to have all of the knowledge that I've gotten collectively over the years at that age. Like, I wish I was 12, but, like, knew everything that I know.
Thought, like, that's Olivia wants to be Benjamin Button.
I want to,
but
yeah.
The thing is, I think so I hate the emotion, or I hate feeling certain ways that we have to feel in order to grow, but I love the feeling of growing, like, just the knowledge mm-hmm. that you're growing as a person is, I love that, but obviously I don't like some of the things you have to do to get there. So while, I mean, especially right now, Olivia knows some of the things that I've been talking about privately, I wouldn't go back because even though it was easier, I like the feeling of growing, even if it's hard, you know?
See, like, for me, I feel like if I was in 5th grade with the knowledge that I had now, I would not have let things go that the way that they went. Like, I would have...
Olivia would have killed someone much earlier.
You're making it seem like I killed somebody. Killed somebody much earlier, as if I've already committed the crime. Like, no, I did not commit murder.
This is for entertainment purposes only. No murder has ever been and will ever be committed by the two of us.
But yeah, so
just
if
the two of us.
We can make it
if we try.
But yeah, so I definitely... I think that if I could go back in time and have the same knowledge, that would be really helpful because... But that's the thing, like, going through all of those experiences is what made me so knowledgeable now. I feel like how much more could I grow at 12 years old? You know what I mean? Like, if I had my knowledge then, like, how much more would I grow by the time that I was my age? Like, I don't know, it's, like, weird to think about. I feel like I could have handled situations so much better. I could have,
But that's part of growing, is making mistakes.
Of course. I mean, it wasn't like a mistake. I just would have been able to handle problems better. I would be able to, you know, like, deal with things better. Fix my emotions when they were out of line.
Fix yourself.
Work on the way that I react to situations. Like, I'm still doing that. But yeah, I feel like school is just something that, you know, everybody goes through.
Most people go to school.
Most people go to school, but like when I think back of elementary school, I just think about how it was just all of it, like, not even learning experience. That's obviously what it is, but what I mean is it's like personally, like in your personal life, it gives you so many of those experiences that you just need. Like school, you need, but like friend-wise.
The structure of school, the way school functions, hasn't changed as society has changed. So school is kind of, this concept is not outdated, but a lot of the way our school works is outdated to some extent. But school is important, whether it's for learning things like subjects or to learning for yourself.
Yeah, like a lot of the experiences that you have with friends, there will be a lesson that you end up learning. There will be. So
even if you feel upset, you're not going to die.
Mm-hmm. Even if there's somebody who's completely, you know, ruining friendships, or even if there's somebody that's bullying you.
Punch you in the face.
There's nothing, like, we can't really say, like, it's not the end of the world, but what we can say is, like,
it is. You'll die. The world's ending.
No, just look at it, like, eventually you'll get something out of it. You know what I mean? Like, through all that bullying, if you stick through it, and you realize, like, who are the ones that are bullying you, you have to look where things come from, you know what I mean? You kind of have to look at the culprits and think, like...
The culprits.
Like, think of, like, why are they doing this, whatever. It usually comes down to jealousy, but you'll learn something from it.
And then sometimes when you're jealous of each other, you might even become friends.
Yeah.
If you were friends while you were also jealous of each other. Might. And then you might end up making a podcast together.
Yeah. It's just about communication, I think. Yeah. I feel like if people communicate wrong, that causes problems.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. School is such like, I can't believe that this year's our last year of, like, mandatory school. Because we don't have to go to school next year.
I mean, you don't, but the way the society functions, you kind of do.
Unless you go straight to workplace and, like, in the trades.
But even then...
You probably still have to go back to... Because you still, like... For a lot of the trades, you need to be licensed. So you need to go back to school. But, like, you don't have to go exactly next year.
You don't have to by law. Well, I mean, technically, we didn't have to by law once you're 16.
Yeah, because you could drop it if you want to. But it's very rare that people do because you need a high school diploma for almost every job.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so...
The way society functions, you do kind of have to continue schooling. But technically, you don't.
Yeah. It's just so weird to think about. I can't, but, like, this is our last year before everybody just disperses. Like, everybody that we went to elementary school, all of, like, the, like, 8 feeder schools for our school, our high school, everybody's just dispersing. Some people are going to go abroad. Some people are going to move to different parts of the country. Some people are going to stay local. It's so weird to think about because, like, you only really see life through your perspective, right? Like, you only see life and, like, your plans and, like, the things that you want to do.
I actually have the ability to shift my brain into other people's bodies, so I actually know everything that...
Okay, Sophia. I'm trying to be serious and deep over here, and you're talking about shifting your body into somebody else's and being able to, like, read their thoughts. Shush. Shush. Literally be quiet. Because I think about it a lot though. Like, so many people have so many different goals and like so many interests that you have no idea about, and they're gonna go to university next year. We're not, like, you know how many people in high school we're not gonna see anymore? Like,
but do I care to see them? No.
No, but I'm saying, like, even, like, nowadays, like, my parents, they'll go out and they'll see somebody from their high school and they'll be like, oh my gosh, like, I haven't seen you from high school. Like, we're gonna have that
my
soon.
mom and your aunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what, Olivia? We're gonna stay united.
Will we? What if I get rid of you?
What if you get rid of me? What if I get rid of you?
You can't.
You're a parasite. You're a parasite, and you're gonna get rid of me because you're gonna eat my soul. That's what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay, well, this podcast has gone on for a while. I feel like that's not the best place to end it with Olivia consuming me as a parasite, but
I hope that, like, next year when we go to school in university, that, like, we still have some friends, like, from high school, because I know... The thing is,
if you can be friends, if you stay friends with that person throughout quarantine, especially if you met them through quarantine, you're gonna be able to stay friends. Like, if you can be friends while not having contact with each other for months on end, half a year...
Yeah, that literally...
Then you're gonna be able to stay friends. I feel like our friend group, Olivia, is gonna be able to stay friends for a long amount of time, because we literally... Some of them I hadn't even met until after quarantine. Alex, I didn't even meet Alex in person until after quarantine. So if you can be friends with someone, especially meet someone in quarantine, and still be friends with them, then you're gonna be able to stay friends while you're in university, even if you, like, go across the world or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we found a way throughout quarantine when we were locked in our houses. We can find a way.
It's just
away from
it's just other. It's because I honestly just didn't expect school to go by this fast. Like, it literally felt like a blink of an eye, but like while you're in it feels so long, but when you're at the end you're like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, everyone always told us, you know, high school goes by in a blink of an eye, blah blah blah. It's only 4 years, and you were in school like in elementary school
8,
for 10.
No, 10, yeah.
Yeah. So they were like, high school goes by so fast, and I'm like they're right. They're so right. Yeah. Like, it does go by so fast.
And you know what? Some people have better experience in high school than others. Just make the most out of it if you can.
Yeah.
And
if you peak in high school, you peak in high school. So
yeah, the people who peak in high school fail for the rest of their lives. So don't peak in high school.
Yeah. Try not to peak in high school. You want to peak in, like, your 20s and 30s. Like, don't let 16 be your peak age. You know?
That's sad for you. That's not a positive. That's sad for you. Don't peak at 16. Because then you're never growing. You're going to get worse. Because once you peak, you know what? You go down. Yeah. You don't want to go down at 16.
Yeah. This school really, like, brought me towards so many different kinds of people. And I honestly feel that quarantine, like, made me...
the bad ones.
Well, yeah, but quarantine really made me, like, I lost touch of the different kinds of people that I encountered, that now when I encounter people differently, I notice it more. Like,
I wonder if maybe it felt like everyone was the same when we were in high school, like when we were physically in high school, because we lost touch with ourselves, and finally being alone during quarantine has helped us figure out who, even if it's been hard, it's helped us, like, rediscover ourselves.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't think we've ever, like, discovered ourselves in, like, elementary school.
But once you're away from a system where, especially in our school, you have to wear uniforms and everyone's expected to act a certain way, I wonder if being away from a system like that has helped, like, kind of, like, make your true self to come to the surface without having to worry about, like, fitting in, you know? Like, who are you without the need to fit in is who you truly are.
Like, I know being away from school has caused me to self-reflect a lot. Like, you've heard it a bunch of times. Like, I've been changing my style. I've been working on a lot of things that I've been wanting to figure out. I've seen, like, a bunch of people on Instagram and on social media, like, figuring out their styles, you know, doing stuff that they want. Yeah. And it's honestly, like, if we were still in school, I don't think any of that would happen. So I genuinely feel I feel like quarantine was not necessary, but it was necessary. Like, we didn't need it, but it was a good time for people to self-reflect. Like, people reflected earlier than they would have. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people would have reflected in university.
Even then, I think some of our parents are still in that mindset where they feel like they have to act and fit in a certain way because they never got the chance to be away from a system where you had to fit in, you know?
Mm-hmm. You don't have to fit in. Like, I want to do everything to not fit in. I
know, but when you're surrounded by people,
mm-hmm.
it's human nature to want to not be seen as
Tell
odd
them that
or the odd
it's
one out.
human nature. Why?
Okay.
Why? Sorry.
It's human nature to not want to be like the odd one out. You don't want to be like,
of course,
not that you're ugly, but you don't want to be like the ugly duckling.
Yeah.
So being away from that, being away from everyone feeling the need to act and be the same. I feel like some of our parents didn't get that chance because mm-hmm. they were always in that environment, and I feel like quarantine may be a blessing in disguise, and some of us just haven't realized it.
I really think so. I really think even though like quarantine was so hard for a lot of us, I think that with all that bad came good as well. Like, I think a lot of good things came out of quarantine, at least for myself. I really like figured out what I wanted to do career-wise. I figured out like aesthetics that I wanted to work on. I figured out people that were good for me, things that were bad for me. I figured out my emotions and coping mechanisms. And
I finally started to talk to someone, a therapist, after needing to for a while. Yeah. So that's good.
I think that, I think being away from school, even though school's good, being away from school is really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I also think? This podcast has gone on for really long and it's time to end it.
You're right.
I think it's probably like 3 hours long. You know what?
It's 60 minutes.
Hope you guys liked... Oh, well. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. First real episode besides the introduction.
Yeah. It was a long talk. Yeah, I think it was
important talk.
It was very important considering we're starting school very soon.
Even just like maybe some parents will listen to our podcast and realize maybe I have been, living as maybe if I did have, maybe quarantine is good for my child rather than it being as bad as I thought it would be.
But that's another thing, like, I feel like parents shouldn't force their kids to go back into the whole school scene.
I mean, you also kind of have to, because if you never do, like, you'll...
Well, I'm going back second semester. I'm not going back first semester.
I'm going back first. And I'm kind of excited, too, because then I can stunt on all these hoes.
No, see, that's what I was thinking about it, but, like, yeah, of course, I always think, hey, like, I want to show people that I'm doing, like, absolutely fantastic. I want to show people that I'm doing so well. But then again, it's like, be humble, you know what I mean? Like, you can stunt...
That's it. You just want to portray an air of confidence around you so that people don't mess with you. And I think that's what everyone should do.
But I think I've already done that. But
you already have.
It's going to be like times 10. I want to go to prom. I don't want to go to prom, but if I were to go to prom, I'd go for it because, like, my friends are there and whatever. It might be a good time. Hot. It might be a good time. You never know.
I just want to look hot and...
You never know. But I'm not going to go with anybody because I couldn't care less to go with somebody. Relationships are unneeded.
That's a whole other topic. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast.
We'll see you next week. Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah.
Bye.
If you want to send us a voice message, you can send it to us on Anchor at Status Teenage.
Also, DM us on our Instagram, Status Teenage. If you don't want to send a voice message, you can text us.
Give us some DMs. Yeah, give us some episode recommendations. If there's anything you want us to answer for you, you can do so. We're not experts, but if you're a teenager, we're also teenagers. We're going through it with you.
I am an expert. I'm a god.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Sophia. Anyway, that's all. Stay tuned for next week because I don't even know what we're doing next week. We'll figure it out. We're very spontaneous. We're very spontaneous.
We figured this out
last night.
Last night we figured out what we were doing today, so.
Okay, that is all. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Sophia, I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
I don't. I hope you had a horrible time.
No! I hope you continue listening in. I think you get a lot from this episode. I really do. But anyway, that's all.
Bye.
stay safe.
Don't die.
Eat 3 meals a day. Wear your mask. Get vaccinated.
And don't die.
And don't die. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.